Okay, I'm gonna turn this on, and uh, I was actually gonna package. I was flipping through my notebooks, and I was trying to figure out, okay, how would you lay out a website or whatever? And what I came up with was if if you start with paper and then build it into a program, I think it gives you the best opportunity to manipulate and change and build and construct something. So I was just flipping through the notebook, and I was trying to find an idea to share with everybody, and then I said, I just want to talk. I don't want to, because if that idea is already kind of captured and stored, and the initial thought was like, hey, let's jump on and see if we can construct a what's like a. I'm gonna have to cut this out because I guess I should just keep going like a boss. You just gotta ride through it. Um, so I'm just trying to focus on the idea again. I had a little bit of hiccup, and I guess if you can continue to talk through a hiccup, I mean, I'm chit chatting now, and we're just past it. So people's attentions are fickle, and just carry them into the next piece of flashing light. But I did remember my thought, and I can jump back to it now. But it's just thinking about television, and I was looking through a book, and I was gonna television, TV, and the internet. I guess there's a lot going on. So um, I was. It's gone again. I framed it. Took too long to frame it up. You gotta just pitch these. You gotta get the ideas out before they get lost, because it's just a weird connection of wires and that moment in time and that thought, and wherever your head is meeting the part that allows you to be creative, that the part that takes the time, place, moment, and all of your past thoughts to create something unique and special and new. And so that sometimes I think people do forget, because all those thoughts get jumbled up when they try to pull one down back to earth. It slips through their hands like, like fireflies or something. But yeah, so I just wanted to get on the microphone and talk through idea number one. And the initial thought was I'll find something in the book, and it didn't work out. And so I said I'll jump into just what's on my mind, because what's on my mind is television, and it's not in the book. It's what's been happening to, I think, everybody with the digital distribution of all types of content and all types of platforms and all types of mediums, to like the point of there's 12 to 14 hours of a waking day in front of a computer for, well, occasionally for me. I mean, there's been days I'm in front of one right now, chit chatting into a microphone or whatever. So there's they're everywhere, and I personally think it's like, flies. I was going to say fireflies, but any type of flies, and light, and insects, and how they're kind of attracted to light. And on the simplest form, we laugh at them because they come out and they poke around, and you think it's so silly of them, because they're just usually, over time can grow into a graveyard that around that light. And that's where I truly start to wonder about television and how simple humans are, because we just sit there and we stare, and the response that we're getting from the light on television, on the simplest form, I feel like is comparable to that firefly shooting around trying to get the attention of a standard light bulb. And our complex mind just receives a backstory to that light, and so there's time for us to jump in, reflect, and focus, and uh, and I don't know, I lost where I was going. These things happen. That was another one of those things. I was trying to pull too much of it together, because if we jump in and out of it again, I think a bit of what just happened there is coming in and out of the creative process. So the ability to it's almost like you're running on a bridge that gets thinner and thinner the longer you're on it. So that initial thought is wide and open, and then as you run and talk through it, a lot of times it narrows you down to either making a final point, or it opens the opportunity up to choose any one of those side stories that can be created out of that initial story, or that initial path. But when I forget an idea and when I jump out of it, I think it's because I've exhausted that thought to the point of where I need to reset on another thought in order to reconstruct that initial train. So I guess what I'm saying is I think you jump in and out of the creative process quite quickly, and that's important, because if you followed that same bridge, it would be wide and open and forever. And not the bridge, you just be on cruise control on a big wide bridge for forever. So it's nice that the bridge is petered out and it puts you on a different track, or a different lane or yard or field or whatever, that allows you to go a different avenue and find a different thing to construct or to build. And yeah, so I don't know, I'm a little bit all over the place. I wanted to talk about television a little bit, and just the overwhelming negative effect I feel that it has on me as a person, and the fear that I find it'll bring to society, because not only is it a simplicity of a fly to light, but it's creating the constructs of the subconscious of what human nature is, and the distribution channel that is sharing human nature is the one that's actually constructing it. So it's a double whammy. But I digress. I guess the flashes, those pulses that you see in the television and the games. If you look at the digital games, there's one called Candy Crush that everyone, I think, a lot of people play, and there's a little sparkle that happens that every time you move two candies together. It's like a pair 3 type of game, and like a Bejeweled or something. But there's a little glowing reward you get for just the simplest moves. And if you look, everything bounces and jumps and moves around. And I think, like a baby follows, someone peekabooing them. Like we're engaged by the movement of the screen and the patterns that actually hold you in to repeating that same pattern. So wanting to grab, touch, move a jelly, and they have to move these little things, and you do that once every 2 or 3 seconds, and I think your brain's programmed to do that, and that little reward that you get every time you do that is enough to hold you there. And that's so under the surface, I think, compared to where the most modern, people wouldn't notice that. And I think just the ability to see if that's even like a real thing, So, it's something to keep in mind. But yeah, it's a little talk on television. So, it's out there. I find the more I watch it, the more depressed I get, and I can't help but fall back in front of it every single day. I think we have our couch directed right at it, so it's you put it like an L-shaped couch, so it literally frames in. We're framing it in and focusing on it every single time we sit down. So it's there waiting for you, and now it's with you, with your mobile devices. It's the internet. It's the other stream. I don't know when these two titans are going to combine. But it would sure be about time. It's like, I'm talking about the television stream of communication and the internet stream of communication, but it's a giant industry to shift, and I don't think anyone wants to give up ground on something they know. Someone told me that Kodak had the solution for digital cameras, but didn't want to cannibalize their photo film business, so they didn't put it into market, and not doing that could have been the downfall. You never know, they could have fallen some other time. But interesting story, so it's good to keep that stuff in mind. But yeah, so it's been 10 minutes, 10-minute mark. That's a good long talk. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Go to this website and do something, because that's what people tell you to do. So I'll just leave this in, hopefully, if this ever comes what it's supposed to be. If it's ever supposed to make it out into the world. And yeah, I'll just record a couple more tonight, and we'll see what happens. Let's see if I can build a week's worth of content and in one evening. And I don't know. I'll talk about what type of content I think could be fun to build in next video too. Wiki.